Hello and welcome back to the port. I'm the Gareth Major, and this is a review of USS Flint, the American Premium Tier 6 light cruiser. So USS Flint is a development of the Atlanta class, and she appears in the game with a slight minor modification to the consumables. So rather than having the radar, you have smoke. And the other things that have changed are that you've lost your wing turrets, but you do also now have better torpedoes, which are very similar to what you get on the Benson. So all I'm going to do is go through the usual, which is all the categories, and just do the comparisons in regards to the tech tree ships. Now occasionally I may also refer to the Atlanta, but don't be confused, that's not because the Atlanta's a tech tree ship, but the Atlanta is a premium ship. However, some of the characteristics between the Flint and the Atlanta are very similar, so sometimes it's worth pointing out any differences in case people who have Atlantas may be interested in getting the Flints. So it's a Tier 6 and 7 game. I pushed out to the right flank to try and give my destroyer some cover. Just got to try and work out whereabouts I can start picking on these destroyers. Managed to get a fire on that one. So from the shipping forecast, Mass and Udachi, we know they're both on this flank. Helena, Baltimore's got radar, Gneisenhower, Lion, King George V, Vanguard and Alabama, and the Alabama's working with the Baltimore, so that's something to watch out for. Now, we have torpedoes, so it's always worth remembering that. So USS Flint, survivability. In comparison to the Tech Tree Tier 6 cruisers, you have the lowest HP at 26,600. You also have the thinnest armour. Your maximum armour thickness is only 89mm, which is rather concerning. You also have no torpedo bulge, so when you take a hit from a torpedo there will be no reduction to that damage. Artillery wise, we have a small caliber guns. Basically we've got 12 5-inch guns. They're mounted in 6 dual gun turrets. So we have C turret super firing over B turret, super firing over A turret, and all dual gun turrets at the front. And then we got, I believe, W turret super firing over X turret, super firing over Y turret, all dual guns as well. So that does give you quite a hefty broadside. However, in comparison to the Atlanta, you have lost at least one turret from your broadside, so that's something to bear in mind if you do play the Atlanta. Let's see if we can pick on this here Udachi. Now, so because they're 5-inch guns, they are classified as small caliber because there aren't really that many. Wow, most cruisers are 6-inch or 8-inch at this tier, but however, due to their small caliber, you do have a very fast reload, you do have a very quick turret traverse speed, so those are things that are in your favour. Now, also due to your small caliber shells, it does mean that your HE and AP damage and chance of fire per shell is actually less than the majority of cruisers at this tier. However, you do have the highest HE DPM. You do come third in regards to armor piercing DPM, and you have quite an average fires per minute, which is at 7. Moving on to torpedoes, now this is actually quite an interesting thing for an American cruiser to come with torpedoes. So you've got 2 times 4, so you've got 2 launchers of 4 tubes, one on your port side and one on your starboard side. Quite decent angles, as you can see, so it does give you quite a good availability of your torpedoes against an enemy target, I guess you could say. And then you've got your usual narrowband and wideband, as per most cruisers and destroyers. Now, these have a quicker than average reload per tube, at about 24 seconds per tube. That's basically how long it takes to reload divided by the number of tubes, and then that's compared against all the other cruisers at this tier with torpedoes. You have a good damage for those torpedoes, which is above average, which is quite decent. So that means when they do hit hard. They have a very short detectability range. That's quite a nice thing to take note. The detectability on the torpedoes is only 1.1 kilometers. However, they are quite slow at 55 knots. However, because of their short detectability, it does mean that an enemy ship will have a less than average time to react to the incoming torpedoes once spotted. So unless the enemy is using sonar, there's still quite a good chance of those torpedoes hitting the target if everything lined up nicely. They do have a good range at 9.2 kilometers, and I think that's about everything in regards to the torpedoes. That Lion's probably going to get away with it. I think my hope here is maybe the mass can do some spotting for me, while I maybe pop a smoke screen and see what's going on. But I'm also seeing that two of our battleships charge down the middle and sacrifice themselves, and therefore the enemy mass has a good chance that maybe he's going to come down the middle. So I might actually start heading back in order to try and stop that from happening. However, I can fire at this Lion when he's behind that island, because I'm not going to get spotted by anything. So manoeuvrability, you have an average speed. However, you do have the best turning circle in comparison to the Tech 3 cruisers. You do have an average rudder shift though, so that could be something that you might want to look at improving through commander traits or modules to the ship. Concealment, in comparison, you have the best concealment, which is something to really take away from this, and then combine that with that you come with a Type 9 permanent camo, which is the equivalent to a Type 4. It does make you a very, very sneaky cruiser. You've also got the best detectability from firing in smoke, and I am seeing that our base is getting captured. Talking about smoke, so you get 2 smoke screens base, and you can get one more with a fully packed commander. And these smoke screens have a 27-second duration, that's how long it takes to lay a smoke screen, 121-second dispersion, that's how long it's going to last for, and a 240-second reload. So that means that you're looking at about 2 minutes between smoke screens. So like when one smoke screen finishes, it's like when one smoke screen finishes, you've got looking at about 2 minutes until you can pop your next smoke screen. However, this time is actually still less than an unbuffed British cruiser, so you're still slightly better than the Fiji. Now you come with 2 sonar. It's pretty much the standard sonar through and through, so it will pick up ships at 4.2 kilometers and pick up torpedoes at 2.9 kilometers. It has a duration of 94 seconds and 180-second reload. Now for this game, the commander build and the ship modules will be down in the description, but I'll let you know that the ship modules that I've gone for have been aiming systems. I think that's better than the other option. I've also gone for propulsion mods. I've just got so used to having propulsion mods on these light cruisers, it is an absolute must, I do think. And then I've also gone for concealment mod. It's different, I will admit. However, I think you really need to make yourself as sneaky as possible. Now, as long as that Vanguard does not have turrets on me, I need to keep shooting because I need him gone. But as soon as he brings turrets to bear, I'm going to have to make myself as small a target as possible. Now he's turned out and fired all his turrets. We'll pop on my sonar now, because I have to try and find this mass. Now I'm just going to have a quick look, see if there's a smoke screen. Nope. Possibly torpedoes in the water, because I was targeted, then not. Targeted again. So it's going to be quite hard to work out whereabouts the mass is, unless he gives himself away by firing torpedoes. Okay, so now we have an inkling of whereabouts he is. So we just line ourselves up for a gap in the torpedoes. And he's probably gone behind the island. So I might just shoot that island, or just try and say he's behind that one. Now I haven't been able to show you in this game, which has been a bit of a shame, but there is a trick with the smoke screen which I have learned. When it comes to slowing down and laying your smoke screen, I find the trick is to slow down to quarter speed and then keep cruising along at quarter speed, and you should be able to shoot while not being detected. And if you can do that, then you can almost slap it into full reverse when you've got to less than 10 seconds of your smoke screen to be laid, and then you can take advantage of being able to stop quite quickly. If I can find a chance in this game, then I probably will do that. One thing to note is, because you're the Atlanta class were like destroyer flotilla leaders, but also became like anti-aircraft cruisers because their main battery was dual purpose. And so what you'll find with the Flint is the same as with the Atlanta, and that is your anti-aircraft rating is very good. Now I know organised the house of torpedoes, however I might see if I can just try and destroy them while I'm here.
The ship is on fire. Turret critically damaged.
Just trying to see if I can destroy his torpedo launcher if it's not already. I think it's about there in the midships. And we'll pop that off. And we'll see if we can push up the centre and try and help our Fletcher. Now, Two Brothers can be quite a weird map, just because of the big island in the centre. So I might see if I can show it off in a second. I'm going to try and push it as close as I can to the line. But what I find is I don't want to do it yet because I haven't got enough space really. But almost like if I slow down to quarter speed and then pop the smoke. So I'm going to be detected at the start, but I'm just going to start opening fire. But now my smoke's caught up with me and I can continue to cruise along at quarter speed, and I get to stay in my smoke screen. So this is a trick that I do when I'm in like American cruisers, American destroyers. And as I get towards the end of the smoke screen, it's not very hard to stop from travelling at quarter speed, and then you can then start doing the usual reverse backup in your smoke screen. Oh well, what have they got left? Just the Alabama. And we've got a Fletcher. I'm going to go borrow the Fletcher smoke screen. That's got ages left, I bet. And we've got a KG5 left as well. So how have I been finding the Flint? Wow, she does go pop very, very quickly. If I get round to it, I might edit in a clip at the end. Just from when I've been testing it, but she does go pop very, very easily. You don't want to be caught out broadside against anything with 8-inch guns or more. That's the crazy thing, because your armor is just nothing really, and because your health pool is so low and you don't have any repair parties, you just detonate is the best way to put it. DPM wise, yeah, she's reasonable. The shells, because they're small caliber, they can be quite sluggish at range. You do have to lead more, but then if you've been playing the American light cruisers recently, you'll be used to that. Oh, I'm finishing a ram. Very nice. So, ooh. Okay, fair enough. Sorry, I wasn't expecting that. Um, so 40,000 damage. That seems to be about what I've been doing averagely. Um, I'd say most of the games have been coming in about this value of about 40,000, just the occasional 70,000 every now and then. 2 kills. The main one there is the 215 hits on target. These ships are very, very good at almost fulfilling any challenges in regards to getting hits on target. So, looking at the team, came second on the team. Generally, I'm quite happy with that. It was quite a strange game, but it was recognising the what the enemy was doing, recognising that they just changed their position, started pushing down the middle, and therefore knowing when to move back. Why 2 of our battleships charged down the centre at the start, I don't know, but it is what it is sometimes. Economy wise, so we've made a pretty penny out of this. One of the things we've been talking about is what's the best tier for making credits. So if you are playing just tech tree ships, tier 5 makes most sense. But if you've got premium ships, then a tier 6 premium ship will actually rake in quite a bit of cash as well. The reason being is the ship service charge is quite low in comparison to the tech tree ships. So a tech tree tier 6 ship will have to have a ship service cost of about 110,000 credits, give or take. What I'm finding with the tech tree ships, the premium ships I should say, is that the ship service cost is coming in at about 75,000, give or take. Well, if you've enjoyed the review, if you could give the video a thumbs up. If you like this kind of content and want to keep up to date with it, feel free to subscribe, and if you are already subscribed, then thank you very much, guys and gals. If you have any of your own gameplays, for example in the Flint, or anything, any good games in any ship, any clutch moments, and even any funny moments, or when things go horribly wrong, we could always stitch them together into a funny video. Feel free to send them in to our email address, which is down in the comments, which will be alongside the commander build and the ship modules used during this game. As always, I've been the Galloping Major, and back to the port.